Hi, good morning. It's still morning. Yes, barely. This is a reflection on lesson 340 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, I can be free of suffering today. I can be free of suffering today. I like the way it's phrased because it feels like, oh, I can. That means it's possible. That means it's a choice. And that's what this lesson made me think of because it says, be glad today, be glad. There's no room for anything but joy and thanks today. There's no room. So it feels like that's our commitment. I am making a choice that there's no room for anything but joy today, joy and gratitude. And I think about how in times in my life in the past where it felt like the good stuff had to hit me over the head like a frying pan to be like, feel it. It's here. It's big. It's massive. There's no reason you can't feel it because it's such a big deal. Whereas the other stuff, the non-joy, the non-peace, the non-gratitude, all of that just felt like the waters I swam in. It was what I knew the most of. Even though I felt like a positive person and I didn't feel like it was wreaking havoc in my life at the time, I felt like, hey, I'm going through life pretty good and whatever. But it still felt like that other stuff was the stuff of me. It was accessible. It was right there. It was the stuff that felt like me, fundamental to me. Like it was the easiest stuff to tap into because it was just right there. And the good stuff was like, I needed to be hit by it. And then it felt like I didn't deserve it. And it felt like I couldn't share it, like I couldn't, or else it'd be bragging, all that just stuff that isn't true. And this is, luckily I've had those shifts in my life where I don't feel that way anymore. That doesn't feel true to me where it once did, if I would have even taken time to reflect on it. And today it's like, I can be free of suffering today. I've come to this place where it's like, I do feel like a lot of it is a choice. It's a choice in continually, well, I might have needed that first shift to wake up to that I could treat it like a choice and that there just wasn't fundamentally something wrong with me. So that, which made it hard to choose joy, where it would have been like, well, easy for you to say your life is great, like the circumstances of your life make it such that it's easy for you to choose to be happy because you don't have a lot of problems. That would have been the old way of thinking. And so that's why it's even a little hard right now to say it's a choice because not everyone's ready to receive that message, right? I was not ready at one point in my life, many points in my life. So I'm a little reserved, I guess, when speaking about it in that way, that it's a choice, because it almost energetically feels like a slap in the face to people who aren't there yet, right? When their life circumstances feel really turbulent, like they're the victim of their story, right? So it's I'm really careful with how I speak about that because it's still hard. Even making the choice is still feels sometimes very difficult because it's like this mind, I swear, has a mind of its own. Where it's like, just choose to be happy, even some days it's still like, well, I don't wanna. I'm not there today, it's, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but really at the bottom of it, I can sit here, all the same circumstances of my life. Yeah, I've got problems. I've got stuff to figure out. I have a teensy bit of motivation to actually do that today. And so I'm like, I can just take a baby step and just work on stuff without treating it like a problem. And as I work on it, I can choose to not wallow and ruminate and do all this stuff, like let my mind do its negativity thing that sometimes it likes to do still. And I think about it with my own parents and what they've been struggling with, health issues, and that colors everything. So no, I'm not going to tell my mom, you have a choice. You could just be so happy today. No, it just feels like a huge slap in the face. And she would never take anything else I say seriously, right? So I say right because I'm sure you can feel into that with other people in your life, if not yourself. Like some days I'm like, shut the F up. I don't want to feel joy today. I'm in it. I'm in the. I mean, really, I would love to feel joy every day. Some days it's just harder to make that choice. But I love that this says, I can be free of suffering. It says, everything's a possibility. It's really possible. And you can choose that today. So maybe today I don't ruminate. I don't fixate on the problem areas. They're going to be problems no matter what. By fixating, I'm going to be even less of a mood to deal with them. But maybe today I choose, like a little bit ago, I chose to put on this really lovey, happy song and dance around the kitchen while I was doing something. I was putting together a shower chair for my mom, because it's that phase of life. You got to be safe in the shower. Instead of like ruminate, I could have gone to a very deep, dark place saying, like, how did we get here? How did we get here? You're still so young. Like, that could have been the path I chose. But luckily today, after I took my little rest this morning, went back to bed, granted myself that, which I don't always do. And then, okay, now I'm going to choose to put on a happy song and choose to do this gift. I bought the gift out of kindness. I want to put it together out of kindness and gift it to them today out of kindness. That's what I'm waiting for. Show up and pick it up. And my stepdad. And so it's just like, those were all choices. And I'm going to like recognize that. Normally I would just gloss right over it. Like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I did that. So what are you choosing to do? And celebrate the things you've chosen to do for yourself to put you in that state of joy and gratitude today, because sometimes it's easier to make that choice. So celebrate the times where we make the choice, right? I want to be that person who celebrates those things. I haven't celebrated myself, a lot in this life. And I feel like maybe it's time, pat ourselves on the back a little bit. And why not? So yeah, it's a choice at some level, and some days are easier to make those choices than others. And I feel like it's a journey, like with anything. One day it's really hard to make that choice, and we don't. And then the next day it's really hard to make that choice, and maybe we do for a little bit, and then so it's a journey. Bye.